The man looked nervously ahead. The enemy was shooting his comrades. When he turned around, he saw that his comrade beside him was also being targeted by the enemy. The man turned around and immediately fled, but he was still spotted by the enemy. The man quickly hid behind a rock. He smashed his gun against the rock. The ice was knocked off. He turned around and fired at the enemy. Then he continued to run away. The enemy directly hit the man, and his toe was broken. He ran to the riverside. He got rid of the pursuit. In the evening, he wrapped the injured place. At this moment, the enemy launched a flare. The man could only hide in the water. The enemy reached his hand into the water. He thought that the man couldn't swim across, but the man had already reached the other side of the river. He walked while trembling constantly. When he saw someone ahead, he directly fell into the boat. Then he was saved by a passerby. The man stood in front of the fire and thought. He understood that he still had a mission. The next day, he continued on his journey. At this moment, the enemy was holding a stopwatch to see how long the prisoner of war could hold out in the icy water, and the prisoner of war fell down within a few seconds. The enemy decided to test it himself. He directly walked into the icy water, but the enemy didn't last long either. This made the enemy know that the man was still alive. At this time, the man came to the small town. The residents all gave the man help one after another. Soon, the man received a secret letter. The only remaining comrade from last night was executed by the enemy. The man got on the boat and continued to move forward. On the way, the captain handed the man clothes and food, and gave the man a pair of skis. When they reached the destination, in order to prevent the man's foot injury from getting infected, the captain jumped into the water without hesitation. He carried the man and walked to the shore. The man skied forward on the skis, but the enemy was already waiting ahead. The man nervously weaved his way among the enemies, but he suddenly fell to the ground. This instantly attracted the attention of the enemies. The man pretended that nothing was wrong and intended to leave, but the enemy called out to him. The man froze in place, and the enemy returned the man's hat to him. After the man left, the enemy finally realized that the man was the one they were after.